The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. A Defense Force officer arrested for armed robbery as the National Security Minister vows accountability after that viral video of a police officer apparently attempting to receive a bribe. And register to vote before it's too late. The Parliamentary Commissioner urging residents to act before the election is called. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Duquesa Dean will be joining us. Also this morning, we're talking with the National Youth Guard as a new cohort is getting ready to get started there, and what you need to know if you want to be a part of that. And later, it's our monthly series to the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation, our Chamber Hour series. We are talking about a number of things, ease of doing business and membership and a whole lot more. That's all ahead on this Tuesday, but first, it's time for the Overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, police confirming that a Royal Bahamas Defense Force officer is suspected of carrying out an armed robbery at a business on Carmichael Road. That happened on Friday. Defense Force Commodore Floyd Moxey saying yesterday that he was still being briefed on the details on the matter, but confirmed that the suspect was on 2 months sick leave. Assistant Commissioner of Police Anton Ramming said yesterday that the incident happened shortly after 1 p.m. on Friday. During the incident, a woman was shot in the leg and taken to the hospital. Ramming confirming that an out-of-service government license plate was used on the getaway vehicle. Ramming says authorities are following lines of inquiries to figure out which government agency the plate is attached to. He says investigators hope to bring charges against the individuals involved as soon as possible. Moxey responding to calls for the force to tighten the vetting process for officers, warning Defense Force officers against committing crimes. Moxey said all Marines are properly trained and disciplined. He says they do proper vetting and that these people are from our communities. But he says, quote, there are times that one or two persons may fall through the cracks, but we have close to 2,000 Marines that are disciplined and are serving this country and are doing a great job in moving the Defense Force and the country forward. Meanwhile, the police also noting a recent uptick in reports of robberies, including a string of hits on fast food establishments. Police say they believe the vulnerability of civilians is a factor and pushed for further education on how residents can remain aware of their surroundings. Meanwhile, Minister of National Security Wayne Munro says that an officer caught on camera allegedly asking a tourist for money to avoid receiving a ticket is relatively new to the force, and that individuals will be held accountable in connection with the matter. Munro says the behavior does not line up with the mission of the police force. He's encouraging members of the public to send videos and other material that can help in triggering investigations into illicit acts. Last week, a video of an incident was posted on TikTok. A 3-minute-long video showed a tourist who identified himself as a cruise passenger from Miami being pulled over by an officer who expressed concerns regarding the rental scooter he was driving. The tourist presented the rental agreement papers to the officer, who proceeded to tell him that he would speak to his boss regarding the matter to see if he could give the tourist a break. Following that conversation with another officer, the initial officer questioned the tourist again, saying, quote, "Let me know what you want to do." A corrections officer allegedly caught smuggling contraband into the prison. Kirkwood Clare Jr. pleaded not guilty to possession of dangerous drugs with intent to supply and taking prohibited items into a correctional facility. The charges stem from Clare's arrest on January 18th when he reported for duty. He was allegedly caught with 11.4 ounces of marijuana, a cell phone, charger block, headphones, and a vape pen. Clare denied the charges at his arraignment before Senior Magistrate Raquel Wims. He was granted $4,000 bail, and the matter was adjourned to March 5th for trial. A judge setting bail at $1,000 for a man accused of murder after prosecutors had no objection to his release. 32-year-old Kirkland Monroe is accused of fatally stabbing his roommate, Dravon Edgecombe, at an apartment in Hepburn Estates off Cowpen Road on November 26th last year. According to initial police reports, Edgecombe attacked Monroe during an argument and was subsequently stabbed to death. Monroe was remanded to prison on December 4th when he made his first court appearance before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley. He appeared before Justice Neil Brathwaite via video link from prison for his bail application. As the prosecution had no objection to bail, Brathwaite set bail on the condition that Monroe wears an ankle monitor, signs in 3 times a week, and has no contact with witnesses. And a man sentenced to 11 years in imprisonment after pleading guilty to accessory after the fact in retaliation to a 2014 shooting. Raven Cooper received a sentence as part of a plea deal when he appeared before Justice Neil Brathwaite. After Cooper pleaded guilty to 3 counts of accessory after the fact to attempted murder, the prosecutor, Kristen Butler Benaby, gave a summary of the evidence that would have been presented had the case gone to trial. On February 22, 2014, Cooper and Eric Stewart were at Hammerhead's Bar and Grill on East Bay Street when Stewart got into a fight with another man. Cooper unsuccessfully tried to de-escalate the situation. The security guard and off-duty police officers escorted Cooper and Stewart from the premises. However, Stewart allegedly returned a short time later armed with a gun. Cooper tried to restrain Stewart before he fired into the crowd 3 times, injuring 2 people. After the shooting, Stewart and Cooper left the bar together. That's when Stewart gave Cooper the gun that he had used in the shooting. Cooper put the gun in the right side of his waist and fled the scene in a blue Toyota in an effort to help Stewart avoid due process of the law. Police chased the car, but Cooper evaded them. He was arrested on March 3rd, 2014, and found in possession of a Smith & Wesson revolver. Stewart, who was charged with 3 counts of attempted murder, was not present when the case was called. He's reportedly serving time in Canada on related gang activity. And Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson urging voters to register or transfer if they need to before the 2026 general election is called. The next election is due this year. Senior members of the Progressive Liberal Party, the Free National Movement, and the Coalition of Independents met with the Parliamentary Registration Department officials Friday to address concerns ahead of the upcoming election. Thompson says his team is ready for the election, but noted that work is underway to finalize and clean up the register. There are now more than 196,000 names currently on the voters' register when compared to the 192,000 names last election. Thompson's urging residents to come out now and register or transfer. Additionally, Thompson says the new biometric voters' cards are still on track to be issued next month. The new cards are intended to replace the older paper cards, which are handwritten and have voters' photos taped to the cards. However, the biometric cards are not a voting requirement for the upcoming election. Overseas, the European Union's top official today describing U.S. President Donald Trump's planned new tariffs over Greenland as a mistake, especially between long-standing allies, and calling into question Trump's trustworthiness, saying that he had agreed last year not to impose more tariffs on members of the bloc. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen was responding to Trump's announcement that starting February, a 10% import tax will be imposed on goods from 8 European nations that have rallied around Denmark in the wake of his stepped-up calls for the United States to take over the semi-autonomous Danish territory of Greenland. Von der Leyen saying at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, quote, "The European Union and the United States have agreed to a trade deal last July. And in politics, as in business, a deal is a deal. When friends shake hands, it must mean something. We consider the people of the United States not just our allies, but our friends, and plunging us into a downward spiral would only aid the very adversaries we're both so committed to keeping out of the strategic landscape." She vowed that the EU's response will be, quote, "unflinching, united, and proportional." Trump has insisted the U.S. needs the territory for security reasons against possible threats from China and Russia. Earlier Tuesday, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said America's relations with Europe remain strong and urged trading partners to take a deep breath and let tensions driven by the new tariff threats over Greenland play out. Israeli crews today started bulldozing the Jerusalem headquarters of the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, pushing forward with its crackdown against an organization tasked with delivering humanitarian services to millions of people across the region. Israel has long accused the United Nations Relief and Works Agency of collaborating with Hamas, a charge it denies. Last year, it banned it from operating on its territory. But Tuesday's demolition marked Israel's latest and most dramatic step against the agency. The group's West Bank director said the agency had received word that demolition crews and police arrived at their East Jerusalem headquarters early in the morning. Staff has not operated out of the facility due to danger and incitement for almost a year, but Israeli forces confiscated devices and forced out the private security hired to guard the facility. And Russia bombarded Ukraine with more than 300 drones and ballistic and cruise missiles in its latest nighttime attack on the Ukrainian power grid. That's according to Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky. This as Moscow gives no public sign that it's willing to end the invasion of its neighbor anytime soon. The attack knocked out heating to more than 5,600 apartment buildings in the capital, according to Kyiv's mayor. Nearly 80% of the affected buildings had recently had their heating supply restored after a major Russian barrage on January 9th that plunged thousands of people into days-long blackouts. Ukraine is enduring one of its coldest winters for years, with temperatures in Kyiv falling to minus 4 degrees Fahrenheit. At the same time, Russia has escalated its aerial attacks on the electricity supply, aiming to deny Ukrainians heat and running water and wear down their resistance almost 4 years after Moscow launched its full-scale invasion on February 24th, 2022. And the death toll from suspected gangsters' attacks on Guatemalan police rose to 10 as Guatemalans saw heavier security in the streets and curtailed rights after Congress approved President Bernardo Aravelo's emergency declaration. The violence started Saturday when inmates seized control of 3 prisons in apparently coordinated riots, taking 43 guards hostage. The gangs were demanding privileges for their members and leaders, according to authorities. Shortly after police liberated one prison Sunday morning, suspected gang members attacked police across the capital. Officials say a 10th officer died Monday following the attacks. Police honored the fallen officers in a ceremony Monday where flag-draped coffins sat in the Interior Ministry. And a truck and a school minibus were in a collision in South Africa's Gauteng province, killing at least 13 children Monday. Preliminary reports indicated that at least 11 school children died at the scene, with 2 others succumbing to their injuries in the hospital. The private vehicle was transporting students to various primary schools and high schools in the southwest of Johannesburg on Monday when the incident occurred around 7 a.m. Witnesses say the minibus carrying the children was overtaking stationary vehicles when it hit the truck in a head-on collision. Police say the incident is being investigated and the truck driver will be questioned. In sports, while Bahamian junior athletes were qualifying for the Carifta Games here over the weekend, others were in action in the United States and doing their thing as well. The most shocking result was turned in by one of the newest phenoms in Bahamian athletics, Justin Allen Hanna. The basketball player turned track and field star is literally leaping into the spotlight. Hanna, who attended high school in the U.S., qualified for the Carifta Games over the weekend with a massive personal best leap. The 2-sport athlete leapt 2.25 meters, or just over 7 feet, to win the men's high jump competition during the Thane Baker Invitational in Manhattan, Kansas. Hanna, the son of former Bahamian athlete Jason Hanna, not only qualified for the Carifta Games, soon the Olympics, Carifta Games with a massive leap, but his jump is higher than the current under-20 boys Carifta record of 2.22 meters, which was set by Jermaine Francis and St. Kitts and Nevis in Curacao in 2017. Hanna, who just turned 19, cleared the impressive height in his first collegiate meet. He's a freshman athlete for the Kansas State University Wildcats. More on that in today's Guardian Sports section. And Bahamian amateur golfers Richard Gibson Jr. and Linford Miller representing the country well at the 2026 Latin America Amateur Championships in Lima, Peru. Competition wrapped up for the golfers on Sunday. Gibson had the better performance of the 2 Bahamian golfers making the cut after the opening competition with the strongest showing in rounds 1 and 2. Read all about that in today's Guardian Sports section. From college football's big night, Fernando Mendoza lowered his pads into a defender, spun in a full circle, used his hand to keep his balance, and launched himself horizontally and reached the ball over the goal line. An Indiana touchdown and a ready-made poster pick for a title run straight from the movies. The Heisman Trophy winner's touchdown Monday night put an exclamation point on a 27-21 win over the Miami Hurricanes that closed out an undefeated season and brought an improbable national championship to a program that had not known anything but losing and indifference for almost 140 years. Mendoza's touchdown gave Indiana a 24-14 lead, barely enough breathing room to hold off a frenzied charge by the hard-hitting Hurricanes, a team that barely made the college football playoff and barely showed up in the first half of the final game before coming to life behind 112 yards and 2 scores from Mark Fletcher. But the trophy now heads to the most unlikely of places, Bloomington, Indiana, home of the college that famously boasts living alumni, 805,000, including several thousand of his closest friends who packed Miami's home stadium and turned a title game ticket into a $4,000 or more splurge Indiana finishing the season 16-0, using the extra games afforded by the expanded 12-team playoff to match a perfect season win that compiled by Yale in 1894. U.S. President Donald Trump was in the stands for what he said turned out to be a great game after a slow start. Again, Indiana, the college football champions. That's sports. And that's the overnight. Time for your first look. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. We've got a gale watch in effect for the northern and northwest Bahamas, including the waters of the tongue of the ocean and Exuma Sound. Occasional gusts to gale force possible beginning this morning. Across all these areas, boaters, especially small craft operators, are urged to seek safe harbor and remain in port. So, this stationary frontal boundary is across the central Bahamas now. That's supporting some unsettled weather across and behind the front. A moist, unstable air mass behind the front is supporting showers over the northwestern islands, while fresh to strong winds and rough seas continue across the country. A moderate to high risk of rip currents is now in place for all waters of the northern and northwest Bahamas, as well as all Atlantic waters of the country. Beachgoers and swimmers visiting Atlantic beaches in the northern and northwest Bahamas are urged to remain onshore and should exercise extreme caution elsewhere. So for today, your forecast for the extreme northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, we've got a mix of sun and clouds and windy conditions, a 20 to 30% chance of isolated showers. For the rest of the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, look for cloudy to overcast and windy conditions today, a 20 to 40% chance of showers. Cloudy to overcast and windy for the central Bahamas as well, with a 30 to 60% chance of widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. And partly sunny and breezy, turning fair tonight for the southeast Bahamas with a 10 to 20% chance of isolated showers. Winds northeast at 20 to 25 knots, gusting at times for the extreme northern islands. Northeast at 20 to 25 knots with higher gusts for the northwest Bahamas as well. Northeast at 25 to 30 knots with higher gusts for the central islands, and east to northeast at 15 to 20 knots for the southeastern Bahamas. High temperatures today for the northern half of the country in the mid-70s for highs, around 76 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to the low to mid-60s, between 17 and 19 Celsius. For the central and southeast Bahamas, highs in the low to mid-80s, about 28 to 29 Celsius, and overnight lows tonight in the mid-70s, around 24 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General, insurance made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
At Cleveland Clinic, care is everything. So when your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your community until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else, all to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Cabin crew, prepare for takeoff.
The world needs pilots now. Airlines everywhere are hiring, and your opportunity is ready for takeoff. At the Sagicor Cahill School of Business and Management, the UE Cahill campus, you can earn a bachelor's or master's degree, plus a commercial pilot license in one powerful, globally aligned program. Train in the Caribbean's most advanced aviation ground school, then soar with CAE, one of the world's top flight training academies. 2 qualifications, 1 world-class aviation career. Your future is waiting. Visit cavehill.uwi.edu/schsbm. Apply now and let your career take flight.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. 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 Wake up, wake up.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also, your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Duquesa Dean. Good morning, Duquesa.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well. Good to see you.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Can you believe it? We're almost
midway.
At the end. We're a little more than midway
This is
in
true.
January.
Yeah.
This is
actually yes. It's the
wild.
20th,
It's the
right?
20th.
So let me send a happy birthday greeting out to my friend Keishan.
Oh,
Happy
wow.
birthday! Wishing you love, happiness, joy, and peace celebrate and enjoy.
Excellent,
Wow, can
excellent.
you believe it?
Yeah.
Wow,
And
11
today
more days to go.
is my mom's birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Mom.
birthday to my mom. It's a big one for her
Yes,
today.
wishing you joy and happiness, peace, health, good health, Mom.
Hey, so wonderful stuff. Hopefully she'll have a great day. All right, so we've got a lot to talk about, a lot going on. Our guest today, though, we're going to be talking with the National Youth Guard. They've got preparing for a new cohort, and we'll get more details about that and what you need to know if you need to get you or your young people involved in that.
Okay.
And later in business, it's the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation, our Chamber Hour series. We're talking with them about a few things, the ease of doing business, some of the chamber initiatives, and membership, and a whole lot more. A lot to get to with them. But there is a lot going on, as we said, in the news. In the news, quite a bit to talk about. The big headline in the National Guardian, OPM on the defensives, on the Guardian's VAT story from yesterday. The Office of the Prime Minister last night pushed back against a headline story in Monday's edition of the National Guardian, which reported that the value-added tax cut on unprepared food in grocery stores, recently announced by Prime Minister Philip Davis, will, on average, amount to savings of about $11 per month per household, based on the $15 million overall the government said the cut would amount to. But OPM provided no calculations of its own, despite claiming that the National Guardian, quote, committed a miscalculation with an erroneous claim. But the Guardian stands by the story published on the projected average benefit to households. The VAT cut from 5% to 0% will come into effect April 1st. The government has touted it as a major move to ease the high cost of living many Bahamians face. All right, so you can read all about that in today's National Guardian. Interesting stuff going on.
Let me before you move on, may I ask a question that I really want to know? Mm-hmm. So, when was VAT put on groceries?
From day one. Now, under the previous administration, they took it off bread basket items, but that is not an extensive list.
Okay.
But they took it off bread basket items.
Okay.
And since then, we've been doing this back and forth. 10 to 5. And,
okay, so now we're back to 0
it's
on
not
bread
just
basket.
bread basket.
It's
not
anything uncooked. You think?
Yes, right.
Okay.
Is it everything? Yeah.
Everything uncooked.
There was an extensive list that was
Food.
dropped to 5%.
Okay.
And according to the Prime Minister said,
confusing.
anything that was 5% will now be 0.
Okay.
Was everything 5%? I'm not sure about
don't
that.
know.
But a lot of things were 5%.
Okay.
And everything that was 5% will be 0.
0, okay. I can imagine it is a headache.
Yeah, you don't even work in a grocery
Yeah.
store. But hey, it's going to be interesting. Okay. Now, the couple other stories. There's a whole lot of stuff on uniform branch officers doing some very bad things. And I mean, it's police, it's defense force, it's correctional.
It's crazy.
And there's another article in another paper talking about immigration. What in the world is going on? We'll get to that in a second. But this important warning or advice from the parliamentary commissioner: register to vote before it's too late. Remember what happened last election? Somebody said that the only one man you and he didn't know anything about anything, and then there was an early election left a bunch of people crying because they couldn't register. So don't be in that position. Our Latonya Roberts writing about it today. Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson yesterday urged voters to register or transfer if they need to before the 2026 general election is called. The next election is due this year. Any minute now, apparently. Senior members of the Progressive Liberal Party, the Free National Movement, and the Coalition of Independents met with Parliamentary Registration Department officials on Friday to address concerns ahead of the upcoming election. So Thompson says his team is ready for the election, but noted that work is underway to finalize and clean up the register. He said during a meeting at the Parliamentary Registration Department yesterday, quote, the idea was, as we prepare for elections, to try to see where we are and to set the foundation and the groundwork for upcoming elections. and to show that we all understand the process of what Parliamentary Registration Department will be charged to do and whether we can get the political parties to buy into and see where there are concerns that they might have that we could address before the elections. There are more than 196,000 names currently on the voters' register when compared to the 192,000 names last election. Thompson's urging residents to come out now and register or transfer. Remember now that there are some boundary changes. There are a couple new constituencies.
How much?
So you need to... 196 now names versus 192 before the last election.
And do we have any idea of the number of actual eligible voters who have not registered? Like, what percentage is missing?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, you could kind of do some speculative math. If we're 400 and something thousand, a lot of that is children. But hey, but this is a good number. It's probably the highest we've ever seen. So Thompson's saying, if you have not registered, go and register as quickly as possible. If you've moved, if you've transferred from where you were before, you need to come in and have that voter information transferred to the new constituency or polling division. He said, quote, "We don't want anyone to be disenfranchised at the election because you might have a voter's card, but you might not be on that register."
What?
And if you're not on that register, you cannot vote on the right ballot.
Okay.
Additionally, Thompson said the new biometric voters cards is still on track to be issued next month. The new cards are intended to replace the old paper cards, which are handwritten and have voters' photos taped to the cards. And all faded and have water spots.
I'm really not laughing.
And a log tear.
So I'm not. That's a good. That's a good step as a step in the good direction. The biometric one. Well, we'll see.
However, the biometric cards are not a voting requirement for the upcoming election. You don't have to have a biometric card. Not this time. Maybe next time, but not this time. Thompson says, quote, "Particularly for the next election, if you don't have a biometric card, don't let that worry you. If you don't have a biometric card, you could vote with your purple card. For the next election in particular, you could vote with your purple card."
Okay.
And as you may know, the Boundaries Report, which was tabled in Parliament, recommended adjustments to 19 constituencies and the creation of 2 new ones, St. James in Western New Providence and the new Bimini and Berry Islands constituency. Okay. All right, so let's get your quick reaction to what we've talked about so far before we get to officers behaving badly, allegedly. 323-6232. 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Yeah.
I'm just thinking.
Have you gone and verified and done any of that stuff yet?
No, I haven't. Not as yet.
I'm going to try to do that this week.
Yeah, I intend to.
Yeah.
Get it done and out the way.
Yeah, and I do want a biometric.
Any day. I want one too,
I
actually.
can't stand these purple.
Anyway, let me not say those things. So do they really look up and look at you to see if your picture matches?
Yes,
they do.
Yes,
okay.
They gave my mom a hard time. In the
oh,
last
really?
election.
That's
They
good
said,
to know.
You don't look
you could switch out the picture.
You don't look like this person,
right?
I mean, because this is what the second time we were using that card.
Okay.
Right. So it's been quite a while.
At least 8 years, right?
10 or more,
right?
And okay, and they like held it up in the light, and
well, that's
turned
good.
her head to the side. She was annoyed. She was quite annoyed.
Right, but at least they checked.
And they called people over. Hey, does this look like her?
Oh no, they made a spectacle out of it. Wow, that would be annoying.
She was like, I don't need all this.
No, that would be
annoying.
Let me go home. Definitely.
But yeah, they do look.
That's good.
They got people right. That's people who I've heard stories. People say, "Who's this? He don't live in there. He don't live at constituency."
Right, because there are people from the
different
various
parties and
right
stuff.
sitting looking.
It can
yeah.
be quite chaotic.
Oh wow. Wow.
But hey. My goodness. Some text messages coming in. This person says here, you all love to encourage people to register to vote just to complain for 5 years before the charade is repeated. I don't know what your point is of your text. And if you vote, you have the right to do it. Right? So what you feel good about sending the text? I don't get it. Why would you send the text? Yes, encourage people to vote, and they have a right to speak out, and if they want to complain, that's their business.
They have a right to vote for whoever they want to vote for.
Whether they are...
But that's their right. Like, why take that away from them?
And again, they have the right to complain. What will happen is that most food stores will simply continue to charge the same price for the food items that aren't price controlled, or drop the price by 5% and make the profit because they do not have to pay VAT on those items, and the government will be powerless to do anything about it. Okay. But also, a lot of the prices are going up on these things in any event. So what you save will be negligible.
Agree.
And that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
But oh well. Okay. So let's move on. As we said, Defense Force, Police Force, Immigration, Customs, a lot going on. Take a listen to this report about Defense Force and Police Force and what leaders in those organizations are saying. This report from our Vonnie Katut.
A Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marine who was on sick leave is behind bars following an armed robbery and shooting at a business on Carmichael Road on Friday afternoon.
Police were alerted to an armed robbery which occurred in the area of Carmichael Road. The officers proceeded to that area. Once they got to that area, they determined that there was an armed robbery located at one of the local establishments. During that incident, we also received information that a female who was the victim in that armed robbery, she was shot to the leg. She was eventually taken to the hospital where she received medical care. Shortly thereafter, the officers, whilst conducting their inquiries, they were alerted to persons in the area of Cowpen Road. Whilst in that area, they were able to take into custody 2 individuals, one being the Defense Force officer.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Anton Ramming confirmed that the vehicle used in the armed robbery was outfitted with a red license plate, raising serious concerns about its origin and use.
But we do know that that plate is a plate not in active circulation. It seems to be an old plate from a vehicle that may have been used just for that purpose.
So stolen plate?
Yes, possibly.
Ramming added that investigators believe the plate may have been stolen and says police are working diligently to bring the investigation to a close in short order. Meanwhile, Commodore of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Floyd Moxey was expected to be briefed on the matter Monday morning.
I understand that this Marine was on a 2-month sick leave, and staff intelligence officer, we're checking this up, and we'll have all the details later today.
Moxey stressed that the actions of the Marine involved are not representative of the values or professionalism of the nearly 2,000 Marines serving on the force.
We do proper vetting, and these are persons from our communities. They are persons from our home. We do vetting, medical veterans. We do psychometric veterans, and there are times that 1 or 2 persons may fall through the crack, but we have close to 2,000 Marines that are disciplined and are serving this country and are doing a great job in moving the Defense Force and the country forward.
In other news, Minister of National Security Wayne Munro says a police officer seen soliciting a bribe from a cruise passenger on camera is a relatively new officer, and individuals will be held accountable in connection with the matter.
The officer shown on the video alleged to be soliciting a bribe. He's a 4,700, so he would have been recruited fairly recently. As the Royal Bahamas Police Force said in their release, that behavior does not accord with the values of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. I understand that they have investigated the matters and they are going to be holding persons accountable depending on the outcome of their investigation.
When asked if the officer is still on active duty, Munro says he would be surprised if he is.
I would be surprised if he is still actively deployed. I would imagine that in their investigations, they generally take them to the little house you see when you come in the gate. That's their quarter guard. And they're generally held there while they do their investigations. At the conclusion of their investigations, they will have to determine whether to levy criminal charges in the civilian courts or to proceed down the disciplinary route of the courts in the police force.
In the social media video, the tourist said he was a cruise passenger from Miami. He was driving a rental scooter on Shirley Street when he was signaled to pull over by an officer who cited concerns about the condition of the bike. The tourist presented the rental agreement documentation to the officer, who then said he could speak to his boss to see if he can give him a break.
Arvonic Toot with that report there.
Sorry. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
My goodness.
Wow. All right, so 2 black eyes right there. But wait, there's more.
Yep.
All right, so in the NASA Guardian today, corrections officer charged with drug possession. So RRT's Davis writing, a corrections officer was allegedly caught smuggling contraband into the prison last week. Kirkwood Clare Jr. pleaded not guilty to possession of dangerous drugs with intent to supply and taking prohibited items into a correctional facility. The charges stem from Clare's arrest on January 18th when he reported for duty. He was allegedly caught with 11.4 ounces of marijuana, a cell phone, charger block, headphones, and a vape pen. Clare denied the charges at his arraignment before Senior Magistrate Raquel Wims. He was granted $4,000 bail, and the matter was adjourned to March 5th for trial. And in the Tribune today, immigration trainee fired over bribery voice notes. An immigration officer has been dismissed with immediate effect from the Department of Immigration after voice notes circulated online suggesting the solicitation of a bribe. In a letter dated January 16th, Stephen LaRota, Director of Immigration, states that the employment of trainee immigration officer Alex Riley with the department had been terminated. An immigration representative told the Tribune that the dismissal followed an investigation, but it was not immediately clear whether the probe was conducted internally or involved the police. The viral voice note featured an unidentified male voice. Did you hear these?
I didn't.
You didn't? Yeah, I heard it. Authorities have not confirmed whether the voice belongs to an immigration officer. In the recordings, the voice appears to demand money and makes references to immigration enforcement activity involving Haitian nationals. So the voice says, quote, now you going down to 150. Alex, by tomorrow, let that whole 500 be there. I saved your life. Don't make it hard for Haitians around there.
Wow.
The voice also suggests that increased immigration activity could be directed towards the area if demands were not met, while claiming to be protecting certain individuals.
Oh.
Saying, quote, this why I can't help everybody. You don't want the rest of them to know it's you causing immigration to keep coming down there.
What? And as a trainee?
The recording comes amid increased scrutiny of alleged misconduct within law enforcement agencies. Last week, the Royal Bahamas Police Force, of course, as you just told you, launched an investigation into a separate viral video that shows an officer attempting to solicit a bribe from a tourist during a roadside traffic stop to avoid being issued a ticket. Wow. Let's get your reaction to all of this. As you heard the Defense Force officials say, hey, you know, we do vet, we do all the tests that you can imagine, but these are people coming from the community.
Right.
These are you. These
right.
are us. These
exactly.
are all we.
Exactly. Right.
And this is across the board, it seems. Every single uniform branch was named just now, right? Police,
Right.
defense, immigration.
But it's everywhere, even
prison.
though that's all it's named. It's literally almost in every industry.
As I told you off air, I mean, at least once a year, somebody in a red plate runs me off the road, right?
That's crazy.
So what's that about? But something's going on, folks. Something is going on. What are we going to do? What are we
So
going
I
to
say
do?
something that's going on. Corruption is people do what they see. Literally, corruption is being modeled from the top down, and like these our show, like my views are my views and not representative of the organization that has this radio show on, right? Let's just make sure we emphasize that.
Okay.
But if corruption is what is being modeled from the top down, and lack of consequences when it's found out, people feel that they have a bly or a right or a pass to do it, because if Susie or Mark could do it, then why I can't do it? You understand? And then it's almost as if it's being taught or ingrained, and like people may not see the connection, but even like I believe in reward, recognition, I believe in incentives, but not for what you should do. Like, for instance, do your homework. I'm not bribing you to do your homework. If you have homework to do your homework. Now, if you are consistently coming home, doing your homework without being told to, there's no big drama about it. I may reward the behavior attached or the attitude attached to the completion of a task. But I mean, that's just a simple example. So people are being taught generally that they could get paid to do what they should be. Let's not even talk about, we talk about the uniform here, the uniform branches, all of them. Yeah. And like I said last week, I know that there are a number of other issues. For instance, I saw somebody saying they make $24,000 a year. Like some of them, like seriously, like how could you live? How could you be the man of the house? How could you, like seriously, like for officers that are consistent with living out the values of that organization, putting their life on the line every single day. Like seriously, I'm not saying that that's the reason, but I'm saying that these are all things that contribute. Is that enough? Is it literally enough? Are we placing people in situations where they have to compromise whatever morals they may have in order to take care of a sick parent or to take care of family members? And then in some instances, it's people just living above their means. Right? So I think it's so much wrapped up in this. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's starting, right? I mean, you're not going to be there for your entire time on the force, but I do understand with the point you're making there. Wow. Let's hear from you. The phone lines are all lit up. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Caller, good morning. You are live on the air. Good morning. Are you there? Hi. Good morning. We can hear you.
Hey, good morning, Dwight. Professor.
Hi, good morning.
Very interesting commentary. To Quest, I applaud you for your well thought out articulation of what's going on. We talk about the law enforcement agencies. Thank God, out of all of them, I haven't heard anything about customs, but the bottom line here is the suspicion that corruption is rank in this country throughout all of the organizations, even right up to the higher levels of even persons suspected in the government, is something that we all are concerned about. The bribery situations and all this kind of stuff, seeing this for the lunch and this for whatever, but I'm not going to dwell on that because we know that is seemingly a norm.
The culture.
Yeah, it's our culture. But going forward, to see now what's going to happen and where it has not actually put a black eye on a bigger black eye on what's going on, it's really very concerning. And I think we as a people, we must demand accountability. I love the explanation that the Commodore, but the person of the Defense Force spoke to, especially, many of us didn't know that they actually did psychiatric evaluation of persons enlisted into the ranks, and that's so important. We don't hear about that on the police force. We don't hear about that in immigration in particular, and the immigration situation is even troubling. To actually hear the implication that persons are protected, or there are opportunities or situations that call into question why certain areas are targeted, who is protected, and so on and so forth. A whole lot of this really does not sit well with the public, but it only opens our eyes more, opens our ears more, and we have to pay close attention to what's going on in the country, why things are happening. Yeah. But thanks for taking my call. I'll continue to listen.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Let's take another call. Good morning. You are live.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
And good morning, the Cresta.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, the Cresta, I too agree with your sentiments, because this country, like we have a saying, say the fish is staying from the head, right? So when these people join these organizations, most of the times they went in, they met the corruption there, right? And they have to be and then they have to they school them in how to go about being corrupt on these. See, because right. And this only I would like to believe that this the ending of something that was going on for so long, right? Because this ain't nothing new. And if our leaders were more upright people, I wouldn't use corrupt to them. But if they was all more upright people, then they can try to stamp out some of the or most of the corruption, and then people would have been more fearful to commit some of these corrupt practices, because they would have known that their leaders wouldn't have tolerated it, right? Because and that's what we need. We need to see some examples being put in place so the next recruitment on any government agency would think twice to say, you know what, I can't afford to tarnish my this institution reputation, because it can be really catastrophic for me. But if we could begin to see some things being dealt out, the people would commit these embarrassment to the whole nation, because it's really an embarrassment to the whole nation, not only these organizations, because they represent the whole nation and they are embarrassing us. So we really need some penalties to be issued, so the people who are sitting next and take it, they say, no, but I ain't gonna do that. I was planning to, but I ain't doing it, because it can be so real and long lasting, man. We have to make some examples. Good show, Joel.
Okay.
Continue on, man.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Well, as you said, this might be the moment. This feels like a lot right now. This could be the tipping point. I can't recall a period where we've ever had all of this happening at the same time.
And a lot of other things that kind of connect to it as well, Dwight, right? If you have your citizenship or your citizenry in a situation where they are living and saying that your country is Nanya, right? If they have issues with the operation of their health system, they have an expectation of when they go to the public health services, these are the things that are going to happen. You've lost respect for the person who is heading that ministry. If you have someone who is known to be a person who have helped criminals get off, and you've been advocating and working for them as someone in your high cabinet, like, where's the respect? Like, how do people respect these type of decisions? I don't. It's an issue.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's an issue, because if your reputation has been one of corruption, right? Whether that's the older people who've been in positions before who've been corrupt, and now they've come back as consultants and all these different things. Like, you are sending messages to people by virtue of the appointments that you make. So you are actually saying that I'm okay with this. You're giving this person a level of authority, and everybody knows that this person has done certain things without any consequences or actions. You're causing a disrespect in your culture. And so how do you expect people who have who can lean towards corruption to stay on the straight course?
Yeah. Wow. Boy, this is a lot. So we got police officers facing charges here, police officers and defense force officers facing charges in the States.
Everywhere.
Just a whole lot going on. A whole lot going on. This is an interesting text. All of this is happening at one time. Well, these are only because the public is recording a whole lot more than they used to.
Right.
So either audio or video.
Correct.
And exposing what they're dealing with, what they've been dealing with from probably the beginning of time.
Yeah.
That's very sad. But a lot of everyone's making these points, right? That in the past people have gotten away with it, and so people feel empowered.
Yeah,
empowered.
I can do this. I heard the caller speak to customs. I don't know if you've ever had the experience of coming down that escalator, and a porter is gonna say, "I have a connection." Right. So
we haven't had, don't put mouth in them, but we haven't had any issues at the moment, but they've been in the past.
So we gotta make
issues
sure that there are high consequences, and not only high consequences. You know, back in the day, a lot of the hotels had secret shoppers. Like they would come in and secretly check to see if you're delivering. Well, we need secret shoppers for corruption.
Ooh.
Right? People who are not afraid to say this is exactly what happened. And if you need to hire them from elsewhere, we could do that, right? Because, of course, here, the country is so small, you may not want to speak out because you don't want to suffer the consequences of being a whistleblower.
Take out some good insurance.
But if there is no, if there are no mechanisms to test, right?
Yeah, I hear you. That's an interesting point. Caller, what say you? Good morning.
Yeah. Hey, good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi.
And your guest, the question.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'll say this, right? It definitely is about the culture that you're in. I know when I joined the Defense Force in 1997, right? I wasn't a bad person. I was well disciplined. But there are a lot of good people on the Defense Force, and then there are some people who are not as braced up, right? When I went there, after about a year, I wasn't the best Marine. If you understand what I'm saying, right? Because I was around some persons where the culture was accepted as being just being slack and proud. You understand me? I was on a lot of couple charges because of my slackness, right? It's a culture, right?
I love the honesty.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's about the culture. Now, you had some Marines who were there who were braced up, and when you saw them, you were like, they were disciplined. When you saw those braced up Marines, I took exception to some of those people. You understand what I'm saying? But now that I'm older, you know what I mean? See, character, if you have character, then that ain't going to change you. But if your character is weak or your personality is very weak, you're going to fall right in line. You also got charged the other day, investigation with the bribery, right? Like I called earlier about him, and he's a good guy, but I just think he has caught up with the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Are you still with the force now, or what are you doing?
Oh, no, sir. I did 3 years and I left, right? But what I'm saying is there are a lot of good officers on the Defense Force, but even the police force, right? Banking, immigration, but there's a culture sometimes people walk in there and they get attached to the culture, and then everything seems as normal. Like taking a bribe may be normal, giving people a passport, and you know that the passport is legal, but the people don't have all those necessary documents.
Right.
It's a culture. You could say, boy, I made $5,000 last week. I know lawyers who now doing all kind of foolishness. It's a cultural thing, right? But I'll say this, right? If you take care of the little things, the big things will take care of themselves.
Definitely.
The Bahamas has a lot of work to do. Our culture is we have a criminal-minded culture, and it ain't only the MPs, it ain't only the member of parliaments. We have people, you go to road traffic. You see somebody, you say, man, I'm giving $20. Give them a straight or $50. Give them a license and inspection straight. Right? It's a cultural thing. How are we going to change it? I have no idea, sir. Yeah. I have no idea.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Well, technology, right? So cameras everywhere, people watching your every move, and that will go a long way. That's a good
start. Those body cams and
yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen this in other countries, right? Yeah. People, you can leave a phone on a park bench and no one's going to touch it.
Exactly.
Because cameras are watching.
Everywhere.
And you'll be able to tell that you are the person who picked that up.
Right. Yeah.
And so you just know.
Yeah.
You just know. And we're going to have to get into that. There's resistance. You can't tell me otherwise. There's obviously resistance. And we know why.
Somebody has to take a stand, though, and be okay with facing that resistance and saying this is for the better good of the country.
Absolutely. Let's take some more calls, and we've got a whole lot of text messages. A lot of people texting about this. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Dwight in the question. My apologies for falling back a second time. I missed out a point that I wanted to address as well. so amazing. And that point is, how is it possible that a government red plate that is not in circulation is still in circulation? A government red plate. And it's being used in commission of an alleged crime. How is that even possible? I thought
that's the least surprising thing of all of these stories.
Where are they storing it?
That is the scariest thing, right? That's the least surprising thing of all of this.
That's sad.
It adds to the euphoria of how these things, like the previous caller said, if you take care of the little things, the big things take care of themselves.
Yeah.
How is it possible that this plate is out there?
Right.
And it's a government registered plate. But it leads me to the last point that I want to make here. Have you really noticed the proliferation of government cars on the streets after hours and on the holidays all over the place, in front of clubs
Why
and
do you
everything?
think they're
I thought
government cars?
Vehicles, I thought our vehicles were used strictly for government
personal
business.
cars.
No, I mean, no, that's not what it is. But there's a whole lot. There's a whole lot.
It is a
and
lot.
there's a whole lot any hour of the day.
Yeah.
Any hour of the
I
day.
tell you.
Yet no one's in office. No one's doing any work. I don't understand. But anyway, they're all driving on the streets.
Yeah.
And driving recklessly on the streets. Not all, but many. Caller, what say you? Good morning. Are you there? No, let's take the other one. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning to you, Mr. Strachan. I'm one of my favorite, Miss Dean. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Yes. I want to come in agreement with the young man from the former Defense Force officer, and I want to salute him on his view. Sound like a fairly young man, but it is a culture. And Professor Dane said something a few weeks ago. I endorse her very much in her belief. Mr. Strachan was off on vacation. But there's a scripture that you could find in Proverbs 22, and I think the voice is 28. I am strongly believe that the Bahamas that I once knew, now that I am over 70, have moved away from the old ancient landmark. What do that mean? The values that this country was built on from our forefathers, we now believe it's taboo to use those values. We are building houses, but not a home. Many of these poorly socialized values that we are seeing, they are coming out of a house. There's a difference between a house and a home. A home has a foundation. A house is only where you sleep and reside. And I will say reiterate that young man is right. We have developed some cultures in our country. Only God one knows how we will deal with them. Thanks for taking my call, Mrs. Strachan. I want to wish you a very, very healthy new year. Myself and you, I believe we'll have better conversation.
I hope so. I hope so.
We do have different beliefs, but these people are coming from a house.
Yeah.
And that house is eroded because the family structure is in problems.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay. All right, let's get to your text messages. A whole lot of these. We'll take these over after the news as well. So this person says here, the reality of life is that there are a lot of dishonest humans. Naturally, they will have jobs and they work everywhere, public and private sector. So these things are bound to happen. Not saying it's okay or acceptable, but we shouldn't act shocked when these things are light. A crook will be a crook no matter where they work. Some get away with it and some get caught. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I can be this casual about it. Again, with the case that's happening, the indictment in the U.S. shows you that this can get very serious. And once you start with the little things, like a little bribe on the side of the road for a ticket, it can easily escalate to a smuggling and trafficking operation.
Yeah.
So just one step away from it. And you allow, as people have been saying, the little things to continue, it'll only get bigger and bigger and bigger.
And I mean, the texter may be right in terms of like people that are employed are coming from our communities, right? There are people. And so knowing that people can be dishonest, not that they all are. There has to be mechanisms in place to discourage it. So knowing is only half the battle. Now what do you do?
Yeah. This texter says here, with regards to the rampant corruption throughout our armed forces, well, like the fish, the rot starts at the head. Don't forget the ones involved in the U.S. indictments, Put Wayne, soft on criminals, Monroe on notice that we, the law-abiding public, will be putting our cameras on law enforcement officers since they, the leaders, refuse to do it. I don't know if it's fair to say he's soft on criminals, but he certainly gives a lot of advice from his days as a defense attorney, and that might be unsettling for some.
But it could also be used for good because you have the insight, you have the information.
Who's using it?
Right? But that's my whole point. Like you can now use that information and adjust the laws, fix the loopholes. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Are they?
No, they're not.
Right.
Because there's only like 4 or 5 years that you have in a particular position. Then you have to go back to making your cheese.
You just feel like other wannabe criminals are sitting in front of the radio and the TV taking notes on a notepad when Monroe talks. Like,
that's right. Oh, implement some things, man. Use that experience to say, this is how we fix that. You understand what I'm saying? Make it make sense.
Law enforcement would be better off if politicians stopped pressuring officials to select candidates who fail vetting.
Wow.
Additionally, what? That's a serious claim. Wow. Oh, boy.
Wow.
Let's stop the show right there.
You almost stopped Dwight Brett. Dexter, you almost stopped Dwight's breath.
Wow. Well, I think we have the answer. I think we have the answer. I think we could just go to the break. They go on to say, additionally, parents and neighbors should be honest and say their child is not suitable for the job. No way. They want their child to make some money so they stop harassing them. Boy, but you hit the nail on the head, I think. Unfortunately, texter, it's a very powerful text. Good Lord Almighty. Let's go to the news. We'll pick this up on the other side. It's just going to be a little uncomfortable for our next guest with the National Youth Guard. But these are the good guys who are coming on in a bit. But this is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:21, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. So we've got a gale watch in effect for the northern and northwest Bahamas, that's including the waters of the tongue of the ocean and the Exuma Sound. Occasional gusts to gale force are possible beginning today across all these areas. Boaters, especially small craft, to safe harbor and remain in port. So, this stationary front is across the central Bahamas now, and it's supporting unsettled weather along and behind the frontal boundary. A moist, unstable air mass behind the front is supporting a few showers over the northwest Bahamas, while fresh to strong winds and rough seas prevail across the country. So winds will continue to strengthen behind the front with possible near gale force conditions and cloudiness persisting into midweek before gradually diminishing. But another weaker cold front will merge with the remnants of the initial front and pass north of the area into the Atlantic towards the end of the work week. That's going to allow high pressure to settle across the Bahamas by the weekend, and then yet another stronger cold front will emerge from the southeastern United States by Sunday night. So we've got a whole series of these coming our way. A moderate to high risk of rip currents is now in place for all waters of the northern and northwest Bahamas, as well as all Atlantic waters, and beachgoers and swimmers along Atlantic beaches in the northern and northwest Bahamas are urged to remain on shore and should exercise caution elsewhere. So for today, a mix of sun and clouds and windy conditions for the extreme northern islands, cloudy to overcast and windy for the northwest and central islands, and partly sunny and breezy, turning fair tonight for the southeast Bahamas. Elevated chances for the northwest and south and central Bahamas for rain. Elevated chances up to 60% with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms for the central islands. High temperatures today for the northern half of the country in the around 24 Celsius. In the low to mid 80s for the central and southeast Bahamas today, around 28, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to the low to mid 60s for the northern half of the country, around 18 to 19 Celsius. And the low to mid 70s for the central and southeast Bahamas, 24 to 25 Celsius. In your extended outlook for tomorrow, Wednesday, partly cloudy to cloudy for the northern half of the country. A mix of sun and clouds, turning mostly fair at night for elsewhere. And partly cloudy for Thursday for the northern and northwest Bahamas. Partly sunny, turning mostly fair at night for the central and southeastern islands. That pattern holding pretty much into Friday and Saturday. That's your morning blend weather check. Weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Are you looking to paint? Well, your local Sherwin-Williams store has top quality paints, expert advice, and everyday discounts to help you save only at Sherwin-Williams. It's time for a check of traffic brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here. A reminder of the work going on Windsor Road between Bernard and Kildare Drive. Most of that taking place in the late mornings after 9:30 a.m. Avoid the area if you can as they continue the paving work. Or follow the posted traffic signs if you can. In your real-time traffic, we've got a whole lot going on. A lot of patience going to be required this morning. So, beginning with Milo Butler Highway, heavy traffic for you from Fire Trail straight up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. You're going to see that in the northbound lanes there. And your alternate routes are also busy for you. Gladstone Road seeing some slow-moving traffic just north of Fire Trail. And Blue Hill Road, heavy traffic for you from St. Vincent straight up to Independence Drive. Traffic actually backed up along Carmichael eastbound to Blue Hill. And once you get to Independence Drive, you're going to see traffic in both directions, east and westbound, between the roundabouts there. So you might want to avoid that area if you can. Robinson Road looking a little bit better for you, even Soldier. If we head back west, we're seeing quite a bit of issues on John F. Kennedy Drive between Harold Road and Prospect Ridge and Bahamar Boulevard and Gladstone Road. Both directions seeing some slow-moving traffic at this hour. And again, at the six-legged roundabout, you're going to be seeing multiple issues. Eastbound, heavy traffic for you on John F. Kennedy Drive. Southbound in Providence Highway, northbound in Providence Highway, and some slow-moving traffic on the Farrington roadside, southwestbound. Saunders Beach, West Bay Street, also seeing some slow-moving traffic there. Then if we get into eastern New Providence, not a pretty picture if you're on Eastern Road. Very heavy westbound traffic from San Souci pretty much to about Johnson Road. And Prince Charles Drive and Bernard Road also seeing some slow-moving westbound traffic straight up on Prince Charles from Fox Hill to Robinson Road as you get closer to Old Trail and Marathon. And pockets along Wolf Road also seeing some heavy traffic today. You're going to need your patience, as we said. Good luck to you. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert. Also brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Whether you prefer a face-to-face chat or handling things online, they've got you covered. Visit NUAinsurance.com for an instant motor quote or stop by your nearest branch today.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Sherwin Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we could sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Sheriff John Brown come for you? Tell me what you wanna do, what you gonna do? Yeah. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get hot, then you must get cool. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? You chuck it on that one, you chuck it on this one, you chuck it on your mother and you chuck it on your father, you chuck it on your brother and you chuck it on your sister, you chuck it on that one and you chuck it on me. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they...
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan on with Duquesa Dean for the bad apples on the uniform branches. Oh boy. We hope it's still a small percentage, a small number. But we have a whole lot of your text messages. We react to these stories. So many this morning. Defense Force officer accused of something unbelievable. Defense Force police officer, corrections officer, immigration officer. Wow. So we got a lot of your messages. We had a shocking text before the break, but we believe that they are onto something. This person says here, this is what happens when we choose evil over God. We've abandoned God. It's going to get worse. Wow. Okay. This texter says, Dwight, I said this before and I'll say it again. Stop making excuses for these criminals. They're talking about you.
Yeah, I know.
Because you said
it's not an
the low
excuse.
salaries.
It's a reality. So when
But there are a whole lot of people who
but when you couple that with
and
someone
don't do
that has the propensity to go corrupt, like when you put those two together, that's a recipe for disaster.
Why should that person
Right?
be on the police force or defense force?
Who they can choose from? Let's just be real. Like who are they
that's
choosing
a problem,
from?
right?
Who are the candidates?
Do you
that they're
remember how it
choosing?
was when I don't know if it was like that when we were kids, but anyway, we saw
Yes.
elsewhere that
Even
it was
you were fit,
it
you were
was
healthy.
an honor to be a police
Right.
officer, right?
And that's like gone out the door.
And you wanted to do it to help the community, to save
So it's like
people.
they're just getting whoever comes.
I mean, I believe there's still some people like that who have this desire to help people.
Yeah.
And it isn't
Yeah,
just,
I
well, this is the
believe
best
that
I can
too.
do.
Yeah.
But we need more of that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, one of my closest friends messaged me too and said, listen, yes, they may be making $18,000 a year, but not
went
all
down?
of them.
The number
I'm
went
just
down?
throwing out a
Okay,
number. But not all of them are stealing. And yes, you are both correct. However, it is still something that needs to be looked at. Straight across the board in government.
Okay. This person says here, so let me get this straight. CID officer was caught on WhatsApp voice note asking for a bribe in an armed robbery. It takes 6 months to investigate the case, but an immigration officer is caught on WhatsApp voice note getting a bribe from a Haitian, and he's fired immediately. And the police officer is caught on camera trying to bribe a tourist, and he gets reassigned.
Oh, he got reassigned. I missed that part.
He's what do they call it, quarter guard.
Dwight, that exactly proves my point, right? And this is one of the concepts I teach in my leadership training. People are going to do what they see. And if there are no consequences dire enough to prevent it, how do you reassign someone? What are you therefore saying? That it's okay for this alleged situation to happen, we're just going to put you somewhere else? That's the message that you're sending.
While they investigate.
No, send me home without pay. And if I am found innocent, back pay me.
Wow.
But the consequences have to be a deterrent. We playing around.
Yeah. This person says here, we're forgetting the high-ranking government officials who were bribed for hundreds of thousands back in the 90s over the BEC generator deal. So it's been going on for a while. This texture says here, these things aren't alleged. A senior officer was convicted of drug trafficking. The police were seen on video extorting someone, and the immigration officer was fired. We have rampant corruption in the country. It's no secret, and it's from top to bottom, affecting all armed services and government. We even have a sitting MP that's supposed to be on trial. That is a trial that's never ending. All this crime and corruption is a defense lawyer's dream.
Exactly.
Wow. We had a sitting MP charged with rape only after public outrage. We have a sitting MP on trial on charges of corruption that seem to be headed under the rug. We have all armed services involved in some sort of corrupt practice, and from drug dealing, robbery, extortion, bribery, and we have defense lawyers running the country and living in hog heaven with all the crime and corruption to profit from. Wow. Tell us how you really, really feel. Good Lord. The person says they're accustomed to know better than the other law enforcement agencies. A lot of nonsense goes on underhanded. That is quite visible right under our eyes at the airport and other entries. I've witnessed it. That's a text. Dwight, yes, technology is exposing this age-old culture. Wow. As the saying goes, the poor will always be amongst us, so will corruption. Is there any perfect organization anywhere? But as we've been saying, right? So once it happens, it needs to be immediately dealt with,
right,
and very hard to accomplish it. Like, we saw you, we have the video, we have the audio.
Right.
This happened. This is missing. You were the only person here. Bam, bam, bam.
And
you don't let it
consistently
continue.
uproot those
Right.
people so the others can see that, hey, if I get caught, this is what's going to happen to me. So let me stop because I need whatever amount of salary I get. I need that. So let me correct my behavior.
Wow.
Or let me don't step into that behavior.
Yeah. This person says here, I hope that the matter with the police officer is thoroughly investigated based on the video. It doesn't seem like the recruited officer was alone in the bribery matter. Really? Okay. I mean, I don't know how you got there, but
I guess it's because he said, let me go talk to my boss, and gone over and talk to somebody else and then come back. I don't know what he said to the person when he went over to them. That doesn't imply that the person was involved, but it looked shady. It does
or maybe
make it look a little, just to throw to kind of throw it off. He kind of included someone else, which that person could not have been connected, or he could have, who knows?
My boss is tough. Come around, look side, right? So he's not going to back down. That was all maybe an act. This person says here, I think we read this, with fish rots from the head. We live in a corrupt society. The mindset that we have is that thief from thief, God's smile. Therefore, anything done can be explained away and justified. Well, some of us might think like that, but that's not universal, but probably far too many. Far too many. This person who was upset that we encourage people to go and register says, remember? Dwight, they have the right to complain, but should they, knowing quite well that it was an exercise in futility, our leaders are self-serving? No, you're off on this one.
Can I just make a complaint while we're here? I want to complain. And I want to complain that cars are still parked on the median in front of the Goldwyn Hotel. And it needs to be fixed. If Bahama could have an employee parking lot, if Atlantis could have an employee parking lot, if Sandals could have an employee parking lot, Breezes, let me get a call, all the hotels, Goldwyn could do the same. It is illegal.
This is what, your third time?
Yes, and stop encouraging your employees to break the law.
Well, okay, we'll see what happens.
That's my complaint text, though.
Wow. Saying the question is correct. We all know that the politicians do it. Do what? But it's taboo to say that because they are so-called honorable men and women. It will only change when we speak out against it and start by boycotting elections to show that we are tired of getting rich by any means. I don't know. I don't look at the elections. I'm not sure. I mean, I believe you might say more by spoiling your ballot than boycotting entirely. That might send a stronger message. I'm prepared to come out and take part in the process, but I want you to know, right next to this person's name, clown is not getting my vote. Right?
So everyone has to take a look, though, at the personal responsibility that we all play in this as well. Let's just talk about that for one quick second. Let's say Susie May decides she's going to start a party, she's going to run. You are going to pick apart every single thing Susie May did from she was in kindergarten. Don't let Susie May, whatever, y'all are going to unearth whatever dirt you could find on a viable, suitable candidate. And honestly, Dwight, that discourages a lot of people who are qualified, who can make a difference from going into frontline politics. So all of these things added together helps to create the culture that we live in.
Yeah, wow. Let's take this call quickly, and then we'll get back to these messages before we have to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning.
Hi, good morning. Turn on your radio for us, please.
Yeah, I was thinking about what they just saying. If they making $250 every week or whatever, why you gonna live like you making $10,000 a week? You understand where I come from? These people them put their basket up so high, and then they get a little sweetheart this way. They get this one, they have to pay this one, they have to pay. So what you think happen? And plus, they know they get away with murder because they know they know these police officers, and they know they can get away with these things because everyone else doing it. You understand where I come from? So they see the head. If you and say a few police officers in the car, they see their boss asking other people for money. What you think happen? It's no rule or force. And I know what's going on because back in the day when I was in a little bit of trouble. I had a prosecutor that was asking me for money. He came to my shop looking for money. I talk about the prosecutor. That's how I get to know the system was corrupt bad. And it ain't nothing changed. You get voiced out with respect. And then vet these people the most. We have smart thieves. We get these young boys and everything who been thieving from in the grocery store from young. They hear they spot. They could get on the police force because they smart and they march in English and all that. We have to prevent these people from the teeth.
Wow. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. My goodness. All right. Some messages as we get ready to go to the break. This person says here, one time I was going to report a red plate out on a Sunday with everyone in church clothes on. I was told to drop it because certain people were straight. Some things should be handled first. But given our culture, nothing will change until the top hangs from the gallows. Wow. Okay. That went. I think some people have the red plate thing a little confused and mixed up. It's not that it's supposed to be parked up and stuff on the weekend. I don't believe that's. We can get somebody to explain it. That's not the issue. The issue is the vehicle being used for unusual things. That's more of a problem. All right. So until we start prosecuting everyone, including members of Parliament, things will remain the same. When will we know who was the high-ranking government official that was named in the indictment? No, that's the thing. No high-ranking government official was named in the indictment. One of those folks claimed they had access to a high-ranking government official. They didn't say who it was. Well, at least that's not in the indictment. And again, just because you say you have high connections doesn't mean that you actually do. You might be trying to show how important you are. But no, they didn't name in the indictment. Maybe in the trial we might find out something more.
But listen, how shameful was that your high-ranking leaders in your organization are being indicted for drug running, and that's an embarrassment. My grandma used to tell me when I was little, don't let nobody call her the top and come around the court because she ain't come in. Don't embarrass this family, and you're going to embarrass the whole country for corruption.
Wow. They're asking why are we doing our own investigation and expose all of this, but we know that will never happen. I don't know if it'll never happen, but they say they're doing an internal investigation, but we are not hearing much. Please extend my birthday blessings to your mom. Thank you so much. Oh wow. They know everything about it. They named everything. She was my teacher, D.W. Davis, impacting my teaching career tremendously. I'm now 70 and enjoying retirement after 47 years of teaching. Thanks to her guidance. Cheers to this new chapter.
Beautiful.
Wow, you're 70. Wow, she is the big... She would not want me to say, but this is amazing. She is the big 9.
Wow, that deserves celebration.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. This person said it was more corrupted in the police, customs, and immigration during the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. What? Because many of them had the largest homes and other things. That doesn't mean... I heard... Okay, I got to stop. Oh, man. What? Can I read that? Look at that bottom sentence there. I don't think.
No.
Wow.
No.
That's awful.
Yeah, but I've also heard that.
So no,
of a man.
I'm not reading that one.
Yeah.
One word missing from this conversation is you get integrity. Is integrity. No one or nothing could make you risk your good name.
There you go.
It could be the culture on a job, but it still takes the person to partake in that culture. Yeah,
correct.
Very true.
Personal value system. What were you?
If you're in Killarney and already registered, do you need to go to see if you are now in St. James? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Where did the name St. James come from?
There's a church in Adelaide.
Ah, okay.
That text was 100% correct with the last cohort at, oh boy. Okay. Well, I'm going to read it. My guest can tell me this is true. With the last cohort of the Defense Force, the trainers were disturbed with the number of people sent to them who didn't make the cut. During training, they were also prevented from dismissing the people who were not up to the mark. Those decent Defense Force trainers were very upset. The reality, but karma will get them, and they will weed themselves out. Wow. So this is in response to the text that the politicians call and make. Yeah. Sadly, most of those individuals are from highly politically influenced families or friends or lovers, and because of this, they enter the organization with extremely negative behaviors. You can't tell me what to do because I know who you know.
Right.
This culture must change.
Right.
That's rampant in the country, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, as I listen to the minister and the Commodore echo the sentiment that these people come from us, yes, it's true, but with proper vetting, we can get the best from amongst us. Government MPs send their list in. It's only a formality the vetting officers go through. And many people, lots of text messages coming in about the vetting.
Vetting. Because that's an issue, like, I think it was last year, Dwight, I had a training, and one of the things that came up in the training was that one of the supervisors in the area was connected to a high-ranking political person who positioned her there, and she didn't follow the rules, and she didn't feel that they could do anything with her because of her connection, even if they, I think at one point, released her and he reinstated her. So when you do things like that, like you are undermining the culture. You're creating more havoc. You're setting up a system of dishonesty. You're setting up a system of disrespect.
Yeah.
So we have to take the politics out of a lot of these organizations.
Yeah. This texter says here, the police officer was fired. Stop spreading false info. No, we're not spreading that. Raymond Rowe said that he was likely, while the investigation continued, said that he was sent to the quarter guard. So
crazy.
We would like to know what the truth is. More text messages about vetting and people who, all the names of everybody who has ever been on a list or tried or charged, all these things. Man, okay. Won't be able to get through all these, but thank you for your text messages. We're going to take a break and be back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Looking for insurance that fits your lifestyle and your budget? At Star General Insurance, we've got you covered. Whether it's motor insurance with flexible options for third-party liability and comprehensive coverage, or commercial insurance products that protect your business, we have choices you can afford. Own a home or renting? Our home insurance is what you need. And for the adventurers out there, we offer marine insurance too. Visit our website or social media pages for contact information and quotes. Star General, insurance made simple.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Marco's is so bad. Don't think small, think big. The big XL deal at Marco's Pizza is just $16.50. One extra large, one topping pizza you'll love at a great price. Big nights need big pizza. Made with our founder's signature sauce, fresh cheese, and fresh dough. Taste the freshness in every slice. Big slices, big flavor, big value. Order now at MarcosPizzaBahamas.com. Go big tonight with Marco's.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. Not too big and there's no job too small. You name it, just give us a call. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Everybody's out there on the dock.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with DeQuesta Dean. And it is that time again. The Bahamas National Youth Guard recruitment pop-up. Another one this Saturday. This Saturday coming. So here we're very happy to have back with us from the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Chief Petty Officer Kelsey Missick. Good to see you again. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Strachan, and good morning, Bahamas.
Good morning.
We've had an interesting morning, but you're one of the good guys. You are definitely, and the majority of your comrades definitely are doing a wonderful job and great work. But let's talk about the National Youth Guard for those who might not be familiar with the Youth Guard. Tell us about this wonderful program.
Thank you, sir. The Bahamas National Youth Guard was established to create a core group of young Bahamians who are equipped to deal with national disasters, emergencies, or adverse events. The program consists of several key components, which focuses on youth empowerment, job readiness, youth advocacy, and a second chance through volunteerism. The program had its genesis under the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, which spearheaded the first cohort. Since then, the cohort moved under the Ministry of National Security, which for the only reason that we have all of the core or key technical capabilities with relations to disaster risk management.
Mm-hmm.
So the Defense Force was tasked with spearheading the National Youth Guard. Since then, we've passed out 5 cohorts.
Oh, 5?
5, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Our key objectives here are to establish a comprehensive training curriculum focused on technical, life, soft, leadership, and emergency response skills. We want to enhance the Bahamas National Disaster Preparedness and Response capability. We want to provide opportunities for employment, education, and entrepreneurship to our young Bahamians. And finally, we want to foster a sense of national pride, unity, and community service within our participants.
Wonderful, wonderful. So where are some of the folks who've been in the program? Where are they now? What are they doing?
Indeed. I am happy to say that most of our persons that have passed through are employed substantially. Some have found their way into the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, police force, immigration, our uniformed services. Some have went into private employment in the private sector. So they are among us. They are contributing meaningfully. And the last 2 hurricanes that would have affected the Bahamas, we did not even have to call them. They came to us. Wow. They volunteered, and they volunteer every Saturday or every day that there's an event where NGOs, whether it be the Red Cross, whether it be the National Trust, whether it be the Salvation Army, all of these organizations that need a hand, the young men and women that have passed through the program come and volunteer their time.
Fantastic. Wow. Excellent. All right. So let people know who can take part in this? What are the requirements to be in the Youth Guard?
Yes, sir. To be a part, you must be 18 to 25 years of age. You must be available for the entire 10 weeks of training. We don't allow, I need to go here, I have this appointment, that. You must be available for the entire 10 weeks on board HMBS Coral Harbor Base.
Okay.
You must be a citizen of the Bahamas. You must have a valid passport and NIB card. You must be physically and mentally able to undergo the training, which means you have to, that social anxiety, you must be able to live in a room with persons. You must be able to get up 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning and do a light workout. The training caters to all levels of academic, intellectual, and physical ability. But there mustn't be any chronic reason why you cannot undergo some light training.
So it's not quite Defense Force training.
Oh no, far from it.
Yeah.
Far from it. We're not here to create Marines. There's a training for that.
Okay.
Our training is geared towards imparting disaster response skills to as many Bahamians between the ages of 18 to 25 as possible.
Do you need to know how to swim? Is that a requirement?
Oh no. As a matter of fact, swimming is a part of the training program.
Okay.
So those persons who swim will leave training being able to swim a little better.
Okay.
But those who have no swimming ability, they can find themselves being able to swim at the end.
Okay.
That's very interesting.
And you say you wake up at 4 a.m.
4:30. 4:30. Yeah, give you an extra half hour.
Okay.
So apart from like those requirements that you listed, are there any special skill sets you're looking for people to come with? Like you want someone who obviously could get up early, but what are the skills, processing ability? Like tell us more about the characteristics of the person.
One special characteristic. You must be willing to serve your country. Serve your country and your community.
Okay.
One skill. Bahamian, no criminal record, between the ages of 18 to 25, who is willing to serve their country, who is willing to do some work. Because in the training program, you're not given anything. Everything you get, you're going to earn it.
Okay.
And so those persons who have mindset are going to be successful.
Yeah.
So does everyone who come in graduate?
No. We have found that in the first 2 weeks, somewhere between 10 to 20 persons drop out.
Okay.
And normally how many do you have in a cohort?
We started out with 35 in our first one, and then the last one the biggest we had was 104.
Oh,
Right.
that's a good crew.
Yeah. So as they drop out, we replace them.
Okay.
So the bunks don't go, the training doesn't go to waste.
Okay.
Usually between the first 2 to 3 weeks, after the 2 to 3 weeks, we don't take anybody because the training has progressed so far.
Too far.
Yes.
Okay. Is like, do you have any idea about? Can you tell us? I'm sure you know what makes that person have longevity for the entire. Like, what are you seeing as? Okay, this is why they're dropped out, but this is the quality of a person who sticks it out through the end.
2 things: focus and determination.
Okay.
The person who has a view of their goal, where they want to go, focus on that, and whatever discomfort, whatever pain, despondency comes their way, they are focused on that goal, and they never let anything stop them.
Wow.
And so that focus and determination is usually the characteristic that get persons through training.
My goodness. Tell us more about those 10 weeks. Are you all at the base the entire time? Do you not get to see your family? How does that work?
Well, after 3 weeks, we call it shore leave.
Okay.
On Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, usually after 12 noon, you'd get shore leave. We'll grant them shore leave if their performance is up to scratch.
Okay.
If they have done well, even if they failed the evolutions, but they gave their best at it, we give them shore leave because you need to give people time to go home. They've been pushing hard, give them time to refresh themselves spiritually, mentally, emotionally. So between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, after the first 3 weeks, you go home for between 12 and say probably 6 or 8 o'clock in the night.
Okay.
Oh, but you have to come back to.
Oh, you have to come back to base.
Okay.
Indeed.
You don't
Indeed.
sleep out. You
No,
come back.
you don't
Okay,
sleep out.
okay.
And if you're late coming back, you don't get to go back next week.
Oh, wow.
okay.
The discipline.
All right.
Yeah.
And what else is going on in terms of the training during the 10 weeks?
Indeed. Our first 2 weeks focus on the core disaster training. We focus on leadership, we focus on teamwork, and we focus on communication. So those things are inculcated in them in the first 2 weeks. During that time, there's no phone contact with the outside world. You take their cell phones on day one. In the third week, they go through the community emergency response teams training, which came out of the United States. In the fourth week, they go through the National Training Agency's soft skills program, where they undergo self-awareness, communication, interpersonal skills, resume writing, interview skills. And so there's a comprehensive program designed by the National Training Agency to address that. In the fifth week, we do the standards of training, certification, and watchkeeping training, which is the basic requirement to work in any maritime or commercial maritime fields anywhere in the world. Any cruise ship, any fishing trawler, any port facility or marina, that is the standard worldwide.
Excellent.
Indeed. In the sixth week, we go through practical firefighting skills with the Royal Bahamas Police Force Fire Branch, hose carries and emergency evacuation procedures for casualties. The National Drug Council has a great program for them dealing with stress management, dealing with substance abuse, or even talking to persons who's going through substance abuse. Bowen goes in and does a workshop with conservation, how plants affect the soil erosion and mitigate waves on the land and all this stuff. And so in the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th week, they go to BTVI, where they have the choice of 4 electives: Microsoft Office certification, carpentry, plumbing, and electrical. Also, they do the...
Great. You're right. You want to sign up?
Occupational safety, hazard, and awareness training, which is an international certification as well. Every major job site where there's a major international brand or a construction company, they usually require you have that OSHA certification.
Wow. And this is free to the...
Oh, yes. If you're in the Family Islands, we fly you in free of charge. We'll pick you up from the airport. We'll transport you where you have to go. All of your certifications are paid for. All of your uniform, the meals, everything is taken care of.
And the stipend?
And the stipend is paid $150 per week.
Okay. Excellent. And you've had a good number of men and women, right?
Oh, yes, definitely. We've had, this is co-ed. As a matter of fact, the young women in this recruitment exercise currently are outpacing the men.
Oh boy!
And so I want to send a clarion call to the gentlemen out there. I think the ladies have us by 65%.
What?
Right? Yeah, in these numbers. So I sent a clarion call out there to my fellow men out there. Come and even these numbers out.
Right.
Wow! Before we talk about what's happening on Saturday, the question I asked who the profile of the person who makes it through, but who is this not going to work for? What have you seen that say, oh yeah, you might...
Indeed, persons who have extreme social anxiety.
Wow.
We have found that I found that there's a growing number. I did not know that there were so many people who were so socially anxious. Persons who literally don't go outside. Yeah, those
addicted to their phones.
Indeed. Indeed. We also find that those persons who have serious medical issues, they diabetes, where they are very dependent on insulin, heart problems, seizures, musculoskeletal injuries, and what's not. Those persons won't work for this. Wow. So those are usually only the persons that may have an issue. Persons with criminal histories, of course, we disqualify them off the bat.
Wow. All right. So
that's interesting. When I heard you say second chance, my mind immediately went to perhaps someone that may have had an infraction and is now willing to rebuild. So what does this mean?
Indeed. All right. So normally in society, you got those high flyers. You got the immovable middle, which is the greatest number, and then you have the ones who are outlaws.
Right.
That immovable middle, where there's so many persons who are listless, who are unfocused. They went to school. They didn't achieve what they needed to achieve. They have the potential. They have the capacity to do it, but they did not find the discipline necessary to carry them across.
Right.
And so this programs give them a second chance to get that started. With all of the certification, it gives them a jump start to get their life moving, employment.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Again, we're talking with Chief Petty Officer Kelsey Missick. Okay, so tell us about the pop-up on Saturday. What do folks need to do if they're interested in being a part of the National Youth Guard? Where, when? Give us all those details.
Indeed. So on Saturday, we're going to be at 3 locations: the Elizabeth Estates Police Station basketball court, the Pinewood Gardens basketball court, and the Golden Gates the basketball court opposite Golden Gates Assembly. Right? So we're going to be there between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. You come on down, you're going to bring your passport, NIB, and a police certificate if you have it. If you don't have that police certificate, don't worry about it. Come down with your passport and NIB card so that we can get you started.
Yeah.
You're going to sit an interview with us. You're going to fill out all your application forms and the medical forms, and then you're going to get you in that system. If you have a Bank of the Bahamas account, we want you to bring a statement with you so that we can put you in that system immediately. The longer you delay, you find your payments are delayed by that magnitude.
Wow.
So you're going to come down between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m., sit that interview and get in. Those persons who cannot make it, those persons in the family islands I'm speaking about, you're going to go to Google, you're going to search the Bahamas National Youth Guard, and when that comes up, you click apply. If you do not complete the application in its entirety, we won't be able to see it. So it's left out there in a pending file.
Right.
And so usually persons who don't have Bank of the Bahamas accounts, they leave that there until they get it. But what we want them to do is put 4 or 5 zeros in that space.
To move it forward.
To move it forward. And then we know that, hey, we have to get this completed. So online, the Bahamas National Youth Guard, press apply. Or if there's any issues, any questions, any doubts, you can call us at 819-1121.
Okay.
That's 819-1121. And you can email us at the Bahamas National Youth Guard at rbdf.gov.bs.
And after Saturday, how soon before you would hear back from you all, whether you've been accepted to join, and when are you required to show up?
You'll hear from us within 3 or 4 days after Saturday. So between Monday and Thursday next week, you'll hear from us.
Wow.
Indeed. Your response, we have to have your file completed, all of those necessary documents to administratively to secure that. And then we'll bring you in. So between Monday and Thursday next week, we'll be giving out acceptance letters. So the speed of your processing really depends.
Okay. And when's the date when the cohort begins? February?
January 31st.
January 31st.
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed.
All right. So time is going.
Indeed.
Very exciting. We got to have some of the cohorts on at some point. That would be,
Indeed,
next time?
indeed, yeah.
Oh, that sounds great. Chief Petty Officer Kelsey Missick, good seeing you. Thank you for being here. Keep up the great work that you're doing. This wonderful program, the National Youth Guard.
Thank you, sir. And I want to say thank you to those National Youth Guards who out there who always come out and assist us. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your service.
All right. Again, the pop-ups Saturday, Golden Gates, Pinewood, and Elizabeth Estates.
Police Station.
Okay,
Yes,
great
sir.
stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to be back after news headlines. Stay tuned. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Everybody's out there on the dance, doing what we call the Bahama.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean, and this morning is time for the Chamber Hour, our monthly series with the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation. As usual, we have with us CEO Dr. Leo Roll. Good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Bahamas.
Good to have you as always. We also have in studio Chair of the Young Professional Society, Duran Humes, and Director of Membership, Tristan Hanna. Great to see you all again. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
All right, so Leo, let's begin with the membership drives and the initiatives, especially with the Young Professional Society. So I guess Tristan, that's you with the membership drive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's me.
All right, so let's talk about that. How important is it to get new members for the chamber?
It's extremely important, and I'm happy that they selected me to sort of play in that role. The membership of the chamber is extremely important, especially if you want to surround yourself around like-minded people. When it comes down to the membership of the YPS. That is the very point. Surrounding yourself by like-minded individuals. And with the chamber, there are many benefits that one can receive. One of which is you get to be the voice of your business. So membership is extremely important.
Yeah. Duran, you've been here before to talk about the YPS. Tell us, remind folks about it, and tell us what it is that you all are trying to accomplish.
Definitely. So YPS, or the Young Professional Society, is essentially an arm underneath the Chamber of Commerce, right? What that allows us to do as young professionals between the ages of 22 and 40 is actually provide those persons that are looking for essentially a leg up in their career or just starting, looking for mentorship, anything of the sort, with access to the benefits that the chamber has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Because you as an individual, you cannot necessarily join the chamber.
Right.
Your company has to join it, right? But there's still a wealth of opportunities there as relates to the network that the Chamber of Commerce has. The Bahamas Chamber of Commerce. Got to be very specific with this.
Right.
So,
Can I ask a clarifying question, Duran?
Sure.
So you can be a member of the Young Professionals Network? Society.
Yes.
Without necessarily your company being a chamber. Because I don't want anybody to be deterred. So even if your company isn't registered, you can still come and be a part of the Young Professional Society.
You can, but of course we'll try to sway you to actually make your company a member of the Chamber of Commerce, of course.
Okay.
It's better to have both if you can.
I agree. So this is then for business people. This is not for someone that works at, let's just, because we're here at the Guardian, who, let's just say, isn't a member of the chamber, but Dwight wants to come and join.
Yeah, definitely.
So because it's not his company, he can still come to participate?
Correct.
Okay,
except for the age barrier.
Right. No, we're just using your name as an example. Just
Sure,
because.
yeah. So he can join he can join the YPS once he fits within those standards.
Okay.
However, he would need a business, he would need to come under a company in order to join the chamber.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So since you were here the last time, what's the response been like? How many people have taken up the mantle to be part of the YPS?
It's been very good. You know, the growth has been quite explosive. We started out our first essentially meeting with maybe about 2 or 3 people there.
Wow.
Now we're up to almost 30 each meeting.
Great. Okay, that's amazing.
So the membership is increasing. Persons are receiving benefits of YPS already. And this year in 2026, we plan on giving out even more benefits.
Yeah. Okay.
Allowing persons different access to different opportunities.
Tell us more about those benefits. What else people can expect and your future plans.
Definitely. So some of the benefits that some of our members have already experienced is getting discounts at colleges. So there's a few persons that have taken up that opportunity to, I believe they got about 50% off their actual college tuition. So that in and of itself is beautiful. Some of our members, inclusive of Tristan, even had the opportunity to travel far, far, far places that some of us may have not even heard of.
Yeah.
But all under essentially the, I guess you could say, the guise or the impetus of learning more
Right.
and becoming a better person. That's the whole purpose of YPS. You as an individual becoming a better person professionally,
Yeah.
right? Getting access to that network and those different opportunities.
Yeah. Tristan, tell us about the travel and how fitted you. I hear Leo laughing there, so we get to you in a bit too. But yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, when you travel, it's not just about traveling. Although that is very fun. You get great exposure, and we don't go there on air. We don't just go there to travel on vacation. We go there to work. We go there to improve our skills. We've had a number of trade missions, especially a part of the chamber, and obviously for YPS you get to travel as well. Most of my trips have been for trade missions, and those trade missions are very important globally. The first trade mission I had was in 2024 of April, and that was in London. We went to the Mansion House for a Commonwealth meeting, and that was my first time actually going to a major trade meeting. Nice. At that time, I was the youngest person in the room. After that, we went to India, and then we went to Algeria, and then China.
Oh boy!
So you get great exposure, and it's very helpful. It builds your resume. You get to put these things, especially being young. You want to do these things early. You get a jump start on your future.
How has it changed you as an individual to have had that level of exposure?
It made me more poised. When I would walk into certain rooms before I had that level of exposure, I would walk in a bit nervous. When I would talk to somebody of a high rank, I would stutter, But after those trade meetings, my communications became very, very stable. I had more confidence when I talk, It's just you walk a certain way when you have a certain level of exposure, and that's what YPS and the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce gave me.
Okay. Wow, excellent. Dr. Leroy, this must make you very, very proud to hear this type of talk.
It certainly does, Dwight. And apologies for my voice. I'm getting over a very bad cold. But one of the things, especially we had elections in November, and if anyone remembers the outgoing chairman's speech, he mentioned that one of his proudest accomplishments during his tenure as chairman was the ability to give young persons a platform and a voice through the establishment of the Young Professional Society. And so seeing the mission, the vision, all of what we thought would happen actually being exceeded by Duran and his leadership team gives me great joy. As you know, Dwight, I'm a teacher by profession. And so I believe in younger persons. I believe in giving them a platform. And I always use myself as an example. I am a very young leader. I'm not even 40 yet. And I've been given quite a number of leadership opportunities by persons who saw that level of, I would say, stickability, ingenuity, and something within myself that I didn't see. So to give these young persons a platform to be able to do that, and the level of exposure that Tristan mentioned is excellent. When we were in Algeria, we saw one of our older members bonding and getting a level of connection and mentorship with one of the younger members, and I saw that it was good. And then when we look at some of the, as Tristan mentioned, some of the trade missions, we had back-to-back persons going to Istanbul for a leadership conference by virtue of their involvement in the Young Professional Society. And most recently, we had another member, very young, who is, I think he may be Tristan out for the youngest chamber member at this point. He was able to go to Korea. And these are all expenses paid trips. We are able to negotiate that on behalf of these young persons to have that level of opportunity. Another benefit is we know that young persons, as Duran mentioned, one of their pushes is towards education. And so we've been able to ink that deal with Walden University that continues to kind of live up to the expectation. But we're also looking at other local institutions that can provide that same level of assistance to these young persons. And their second sort of dream is home ownership. And so we've partnered with an excellent chamber member, Stone Oak, that has been able to curate and design an entire village. She was able to secure some acreages of property. And we're hoping that some of those persons that are approved can be from the Young Professional Society. And so it gives them even greater experience, exposure, and I heard the question asking about businesses. One of the reasons why we didn't want it to be simply persons who are business owners is because that's the chamber. We understand business owners. We know where business owners are. We want to curate or create an environment where persons from a young sphere, from a professional environment, can espouse the business owners, but they can only do that if they see other business owners. They hear some of the failures, they hear some of the successes. Tristan and Duran are stout business owners, but they themselves have had to have failures, and I want them to be able to pour into persons who are not even business owners some of the successes, some of the failures, some of the lessons that they've learned, so that they can then inspire more persons to become business owners, more persons to kind of build the economy and to then build on the mission of the chamber. And so we are trying to create the legacy that we want, and we're doing that through young professionals.
Fantastic. Wow. And Duran, I know I think Leo touched on it, but some of the other initiatives you have in the future, plans that you want to see come to fruition. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, Leo touched on a lot of it. And just to clarify, they went to South Korea, not North Korea.
Well, of course. I would hope.
Okay. But definitely, a lot of the things that we want to do are kind of based on feedback from our members in terms of what they actually would like to see, right? So as we continue to go along, we're getting feedback from them. And also, one of the things that we want to do this year is have essentially a recognition ceremony of sorts, right?
Okay.
So whereas our membership team, which includes Tristan and Nigel, so those guys will be the ones that actually reach out to you if you actually decide to sign up for YPS, which you can do by going to the Chamber's website. There's a link right there on the website. But we want to do a recognition program, whereas our membership team reaches out to you, checks in with you from time to time to figure out what are some of your accomplishments professionally, just so that we can publicly recognize you amongst the group, right? To celebrate some of the things that you've accomplished this year. Because that in and of itself is very important.
Yeah.
Yes, you may have not hit your overall goal, but you've still moved the needle forward, right? Which is important in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Right? We want to celebrate that.
Fantastic. So when is the Middle-Aged Professional Society coming? Is that on the drawing board for certain people?
It's on the docket.
Okay, good. That's good to hear. All right. So we want to talk about some other initiatives that the Chamber has to support business, Leo, and the ease of doing business. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we want to get into that. This is Morning Blend Business. We're talking with the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation in our Chamber Hour series. We'll be back after these messages. Stay with us.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. Growing wealth for future generations.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clocks and Island Lock, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
We are back with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean. We are talking with Dr. Leo Roll, Duran Humes, and Tristan Hanna with the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation. All right, so ease of doing business. We know that this has been a cry from many in the Bahamas that there are many challenges, many hurdles and obstacles. How are we looking, Dr. Leo Roll and others? All of you can jump in as well. What's the chamber doing to help ease doing business in this country?
Dwight, before I answer, I think I'll allow Tristan and Duran, since they are businessmen, to kind of give their insight on the ease of doing business or the unease, and see what their thoughts are before I really speak to what the chamber is doing to try to ensure that we enhance the business landscape in the country.
Okay. Who wants to start?
I'll
Tristan?
start. Yeah, I'll start.
So, Tristan, what do you do?
So I own a home security and solar technology company.
Okay.
It's called Safe Point Specialist, and so our motto is security at its finest, and we provide those security services. Now, in terms of the ease of doing business, I think there's always steady growth because there's always new inventions, and so the ease of doing business gets easier every time.
Okay.
However, for me, this year we're focusing on our payroll. We're focusing on our streamline of getting taxes done correctly and getting them done quickly under one system.
Mm-hmm.
And,
has it been a challenge in the past?
It has. It certainly has, and then Duran will definitely touch on that, as that is his platform.
He has the solution.
Right, exactly. And so the ease of doing business for us looks like getting involved in those arenas, inside of those applications, and reaching out to Bohemian companies like Duran own, and sort of getting those things done in terms of payment processing and we're trying to move more to a digital era as well. That makes life a whole lot easier. And so that's something things we'll be doing for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Duran, remind folks about your company companies and what you do, and let's talk about it from your perspective.
Sure. So the main thing that we do is TriBlock HR. It's an HR and payroll software built in the Bahamas for the entirety of the Caribbean, right? One of the things that, at least from my perspective, that is still a bit difficult in the Bahamas, and I'm sure it's throughout the entire region in the Caribbean, is dealing with the banking system.
Oh, boy.
That is always a pain. But it has
Tell us what you mean specifically.
Like what, right, because what challenges are you experiencing?
Well, it's just a lot of running behind people to get people to do their job.
Wow.
So, but once you actually run behind them, they get it done, and you get what you actually need.
I know it's hard to get through.
So, well,
you got to show up.
Exactly. Yeah. Knock on the door. Right. Outside of that, everything is pretty good. We're doing business in the Bahamas, and also some of the benefits of being a part of YPS in the chambers, again, getting access to that network.
Right.
You have persons like Leo and other members of the chamber that you can call on and say, hey, I need help with X, Y, Z. And they're going to see how exactly they can help. That's a beautiful benefit.
Yeah.
Very true. Especially we just held our business expo, which I'm pretty sure Dr. Leo Rowe will talk about more.
Yeah, yeah. And for those like Tristan's company who are having issues with the payroll and other matters, what advice would you give to them? And the taxes and all of that, what would you say?
Let me answer for you. You want me to answer for you, right? Just hire HR block. TriPoint. TriBlock. TriBlock HR. Yeah.
Software?
No. Tell me it. Let me do your commercial.
TriBlock HR.
TriBlock HR has the solutions for you. Just reach out to Duran, and he'll get you all sorted out. You won't have to chase him down. You won't have to show up. He's going to answer your call and help you with the solutions that you need for everything HR related.
Now, see, Dwight, we need to chop that up and run that on the app.
Yeah, I agree.
That was sponsored by the chamber.
We'll get you sorted out. All right, so it doesn't have to be as complicated as some people make it.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Leo?
Yeah, but I mean, Dwight, I smiled when you spoke about some of the challenges and you mentioned banking
Mhm.
because we have, this is a real live example, and I know Duran was probably jesting when he spoke to making calls, but we have a client that over the entire holiday season was trying to get their point of sale terminal, I guess, access.
Wow.
And it was such a challenge dealing with the financial institution. I won't call the name, obviously, because both the institution and the member are members of the chamber.
Wow.
But it took me having to call the managing director. Now, there was some level of miscommunication between both, but that's the level of involvement that the chamber goes to sometimes to ensure that clients are not disenfranchised in the process. And so now, more than likely, um, the member now has their credit card terminal because you can imagine being a densely tourist populated area where tourists don't usually travel with cash. And so you're not allowed to, or you don't have the capability to have them swipe their card. And so you're
Right.
turning away business. It's frustrating. But those are some of the challenges: opening a business bank account, paying taxes, getting responses from some of these agencies. And so while we do see and we applaud many of the agencies that have begun this sort of symbiotic relationship where we understand the interconnectivity between each of us, there's still a lot of work to be done. And so that was the sort of the impetus for our Business Readiness Expo that we held a couple of Fridays ago, which allowed us the opportunity to have everyone that impacts the life of an entrepreneur in one room, in one time, for one central purpose of ensuring that entrepreneurs, whether they were chamber members or not, and you know how I feel about membership having its benefits, but we have new sheriff in town. And his thing is we are the Chamber of Commerce, and so we protect the rights of all businesses, whether they are chamber members or not. There are some exclusive benefits that will only be for chamber members, but that one was a freebie for all. And so we allowed anyone to come to that expo. I can tell you that for the entire day, the Department of Inland Revenue took the crowd. I mean, they at one point we had to put folding chairs to create a waiting area for them. But what I saw were smiles on the faces of those entrepreneurs that were leaving, which said to me that they actually got a lot of what they came for addressed. And that was the central purpose. So we had water and sewage, inland revenue, town planning, customs, NIB, BICA, BOCO. There were so many organizations where an entrepreneur, even if they were not fully licensed, could walk into that room and touch all of those different arms and actually walk out with either an approval in theory or the actual license or the renewed business license. There were even portals to accept. I saw some persons doing NIB payment plans. And so that was great. And what we intend to do is to make sure that that's an annual occurrence, because we want to make sure that at the beginning of the year, when we know pressure is high, you're just coming back from the Christmas break, it's time to start getting the business license renewal process going. It's time to be ready for tax season. We want to be ahead of the game in ensuring that entrepreneurs have an easier way where they don't have to drive around or send emails or call without getting a full response. They have that person right in the front of them that can answer their questions or can direct them to the person that needs to be able to answer it in real time.
Well, wonderful. As the slogan goes, membership has benefits. Eh? All right, so let's talk about some of the other initiatives you're going to be working on in this new year, 2026.
Absolutely. So, as Duran mentioned, one of the things that we do is, from a chamber standpoint, and even from YPS, is ensuring that we don't do things that we think will benefit the business community. Because while we ourselves, as business owners, there are certain nuances to every business that will make their challenges or their needs different. And so what we do is ask our members, and I have to admonish members, you have to be able to come to us and say, here are the challenges I'm having, and this is what I need help with. When we send out surveys, when we have mixers, when we have those opportunities for you to have a forum, it's an opportunity for you to tell us where you need the trajectory of the chamber to go. We have sort of a roadmap in mind, but you help us to define that roadmap through your various needs, your various input. And so we have quarterly mixers. So there will be 4 mixers for the year, 1 each quarter. This is separate and apart from the mixers that YPS has. They have quite a bit. But the chamber itself, for members, will have a mixer. And usually at those mixers, in the past, we used to call it Meet the Minister series, where we would have a minister come out, and persons would be able to meet with them, talk with them, get anything that they needed resolved. And we kind of strayed away from that standpoint because we realized that there were some ministers whose portfolio impacted the business community more than others. And so when we had one minister there, they may have a crowd, and then another may not. And so what we've done is strategically invited various stakeholders at every one of those mixers so that you may see persons from a number of industries or ministers themselves at those mixers where you as a member have an opportunity to rub shoulders with other members. What we've also seen is that kind of creates what I would consider an ecosystem. And so I always use the analogy, if I'm a restaurant business and I'm a chamber member, and Tristan, though he doesn't, sells compostables, there's no reason why I should go outside of that network to buy from anyone else unless Tristan is out of stock. And so by bringing all of those entrepreneurs together in a room, what it allows for is that opportunity for interconnectivity and collaborations that even though their chamber members would not have necessarily happened because they may not have all been in a central location. And so we encourage members to bring their business cards out. We have trivias, we have giveaways, and we have an opportunity to put all of these like-minded individuals in a room together and see where the connections are and how they can be made. And so those mixers are completely free to members. There's hors d'oeuvres. There's always libations that will be served. And it allows for an opportunity for chamber members to be together and to kind of rub off of and gel with one another and to create that level of harmony that we would like to see from the chamber.
Excellent, excellent. We know last year was a busy one in terms of the missions. We talked a little bit about that earlier. Is it going to be another year like that?
Absolutely. So international exposure through trade missions is definitely one of the points. And what we've done is we've ramped it up this year. So we've actually already launched 2 trade missions to Turkey. One is for persons in the beauty and cosmetics industry, and the other is for persons in the solar energy industry. And so those opportunities are out and available on our site. We've gotten a number of requests for a number of other areas of concern and missions throughout the year. And as we continue to roll them, but I know the next one will definitely be China. I don't remember the industry, but we have a meeting with them tonight at 6. So, of course, during our next touch point, Dwight, I'll be able to give more information on that.
Okay. Why Turkey? What's happening in Turkey? What are they doing that we don't know?
I don't know. So you've heard a lot about Turkey, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's intentional because Mike Mora serves as the honorary consul for Turkey.
Okay.
And Mike Mora is a past chairman of the chamber. And so he then provides us with a number of opportunities through his involvement with the Turkish government. And so that's why you see a lot of the initiatives, some of the young professional initiatives that we have, some of the trade missions that we've had have been around Turkey because, one, they're an excellent trading partner. I was in a meeting with the Trade Commission the other day, and I smiled when they spoke about the cost as well as the ease of doing business with some of these countries. And among the list, Director Raquel Pindo was shocked that Turkey was there, and I smiled, and I was able to give insight as to why they were there and why I was not surprised.
Right.
If you have someone who's served as a chamber chairman, they understand business, they understand how it works, and so if he has that role now as the honorary counsel, he's going to push the opportunity for business to be done through these countries, and especially where we know that we can source goods and services at a much more reduced price, which can then be passed on to the consumer.
Excellent.
And so that's why you see the push towards Turkey through Mike Mora and his affiliation.
Yeah,
for sure. I just wanted to pause there to sort of bring to light of how deep the chamber really runs. your membership is not only the line of what you see in the papers or in the news or the board that we currently have. It's not just that. It's so much deeper. The history of the chamber goes so far back, and those connections are still tied. So it's not just what you see in the front line today. It goes way back, and those connections are still there. So it's like those people are still a part of the chamber. They're just not listed on paper, but we still have those connections.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, so a lot of great stuff has been said today. If you are interested in becoming a chamber member or a member of YPS, what do you need to do?
So you simply need to reach out to us, 322-2145, or you send us an email, info@thebahamaschamber.com. The application is a simple online application where we ask you a number of questions. We then take your information, adjudicate, so we do a quick background check. We look at some of the perhaps comments on your business, checking your business license, checking your KYC documents. Our membership relationship officer, Shanisha and Burrows, will then compile that list. And third Thursday of the month, the board meets, and the board will then make a determination as to whether or not your business is approved for membership. That's for chamber membership. So I'll, of course, allow Duran to speak on YPS membership.
Okay, Duran?
It is a similar process, a little bit less intense. But essentially, again, you would reach out to the chamber either by phone, email, or on the website. And what will happen there is that you will get an online form. You fill out the form. Our membership team will take that in and they'll review it.
Okay.
Once they review it, everything looks good. They'll reach out to you to actually conduct an interview to figure out where you're at, where your head is at, in terms of what sort of value you think you can provide to the group, as well as what sort of value we can provide to you. Like what is it that you're looking for, right? Then from there, pay your membership dues, and you're good to go.
And how much is membership?
$150 per year.
Okay. Great stuff. Any final words as we start on this new year, this exciting new year? What? Any final words from any of you?
Yeah. It's the start of a new year. It's a great time to sort of get involved. Sometimes if you're in the middle of the year, you may say, okay, you know what, I'll do that next year. But we're at the beginning of the year now. So there's no better time to get involved with the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and the YPS. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Durant?
Just to piggyback off that, they say that the best time to plant a seed was yesterday. The next best time is now.
Yeah.
So why not join today and start to actually grow that tree so that when you're 60 or 80, you can see the fruits of your labor.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Dr. Leroy, you get the final words.
Yeah, I mean, Dwight, we have had an explosive year last year, and we plan to double what we've been doing last year. I know that you've seen our new chairman, Don Williams, feeding the airways quite a bit over the past few weeks, and that's been intentional because we want to keep the chamber at the forefront. So we have a number of initiatives that will speak to visibility. We have I don't know if people know this, but the chamber, while it's headed by a chairman and a board of directors, each one of those directors normally heads a committee. And so we've just done appointments of those committees. And so there are 14 committees that will be working on behalf of the business community. But we also have, as I mentioned, international exposure, community partnerships, more for fledgling entrepreneurs to help them to develop. We have new committees, as I mentioned. We have business clinics that will be spin-offs to the Business Readiness Expo, quarterly mixers. And so I just want persons to, one, listen out for us, and two, provide that level of feedback to us. Because the only way we can know if we're doing a great job or if there are things that we need to tighten up on is if you are honest, but you also provide that measure of feedback to us. And so we have a number of outlets that allow you to be able to reach out to us, whether it be our comment box, whether it be any of our social media handles, whether it be calling me or the chairman or any of our board members directly. We are always open and willing to hear from our members to help us to, one, refine our product, but also to refine our voice in the business community. And so I would simply invite you to continue to follow us, continue looking out for your benefits, continue to ensure that the chamber is doing as our mandate states, which is providing that level of 3 A's: access, advice, and advocacy to the business community from 1799, as Tristan so rightfully reminded us.
Thank you.
Wonderful stuff. Thank you so much, Dr. Leo Roll, CEO of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation, Chair of the Young Professional Society, Duran Humes, and Director of Membership, Tristan Hanna. Thank you all for being with us this morning. Great stuff. We're going to take a break and be back with our final few minutes of Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Put more money back in your pocket with a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Step inside the John Baptiste Jazz Club at Bahamar, where the rhythm of the islands of the Bahamas meets the soul of New Orleans. Every night, the lights dim, the music swells, and the air fills with that unmistakable energy, the kind that makes you close your eyes and just feel. Savor signature cocktails, curated small plates, and live performances from world-class musicians, all in an intimate, artfully designed space where every seat has a story. Whether it's a romantic night out or a spontaneous evening with friends, this is where you want to be. The John Baptiste Jazz Club, only at Bahamar. Reserve your table now at bahamar.com/jazz club or through the Bahamar app, because every evening plays its own tune.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
It is time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL. SpaceX's environmental management plan requires several amendments before the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection can determine whether another Falcon 9 rocket booster re-entry and landing exercise can happen in Bahamian airspace and on the country's waters. That's according to Director of the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection, Dr. Rhianna Neely Murphy. She told Guardian Business that DEP's SpaceX document review remains in process, and that has been ongoing ever since the government halted the SpaceX Falcon 9 landing project after one successful landing in February of last year. SpaceX had hoped to complete 20 landings in Bahamian waters last year, but after its test Starship rocket, a different project, disintegrated over the Bahamas, scattering debris in the country's waters, the Falcon 9 landings were halted and more environmental studies were carried out. While last year's landing between the southern tip of Eleuthera and Norman's Key in Exuma was successful, there were some public concerns about the size of the rocket's sonic boom, which was heard loudly in parts of New Providence. The Bahamas needs to produce more data on tourism expenditure, according to economist Therese Turner-Jones. Speaking to Guardian Business, she said the country needs to know how much the tourists are spending and what they're spending their money on in order to truly measure the impact of the growing number of visitors coming to the country. It's understood that stopover passengers spend more money than cruise passengers do, but the country's cruise tourism sector is growing exponentially faster than the stopover segment. Turner Jones lamented the stopover numbers that have been flat for about 2 decades. Former president of the Chartered Financial Analysts Society of the Bahamas, Kristen Moore, telling Guardian Business that lower-income Bahamians will benefit marginally from the removal of VAT on food items in light of rising inflation over the past few years. You can read more about that in today's Guardian Business section. Overseas, Netflix is revising its $72 billion offer for Warner Brothers Discovery to make it an all-cash transaction. Netflix initially put forth a cash and stock deal valued at $27.75 per Warner Brothers share, giving it a total enterprise value of $82.7 billion, including debt. Netflix and Warner Brothers said today that the revised deal simplifies the transaction structure, provides more certainty of value for Warner Brothers stockholders, and speeds up the path to a Warner Brothers shareholder vote. The company said that the all-cash transaction is valued at $27.75 per Warner Brothers share. Warner Brothers stockholders will also receive the additional value of shares from Discovery Global following its separation from Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers previously announced that it will separate Warner Brothers and Discovery Global into two separate publicly traded companies. The separation is expected to be completed in 6 to 9 months prior to the closing of the proposed Netflix and Warner Brothers deal. The transaction with Netflix is expected to close 12 to 18 months from the date that Netflix and Warner Brothers originally entered into their merger agreement. Paramount, though, still in a tussle with Netflix for Warner Brothers, with Paramount taking another step in its hostile takeover bid, saying that it would name its own slate of directors before the next shareholder meeting of the Hollywood studio. Paramount also filed a suit in Delaware Chancery Court seeking to compel Warner Brothers to disclose to shareholders how it values its bid and the competing offer from Netflix. Warner's leadership has repeatedly rebuffed overtures from Paramount and has urged shareholders to back the sale of its streaming and studio business to Netflix. Paramount has sweetened its deal, though, to $77.9 billion for the entire company. Closer to home in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Monday. Your market movers: Bank of the Bahamas moving 49,000 shares, closing at 625, unchanged. Commonwealth Bank moving 23,000, down 17 cents to 433. Consolidated Water down 5 cents, closing at 749. And Emir Incorporated up 9 cents, closing at $12.09. The BISX All Share Index closing at 3,159.68. down 0.13. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And Quessa, we still have more NIB calendars to give away. Got another one to give away today. Just want to say to folks who have one, please come to the NASA Guardian to collect your calendars before the year is out. Come this week, please. Come this week between 9 and 5.
Right, hours of 9 to 5.
Pick up your...
Monday to Friday.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Pick up your calendar. Okay, so all you have to do is be the first person to get this trivia question correct, and you will have a beautiful NIB calendar. Maybe I need to tell people how special these calendars are. Not only do they have the Bahamian holidays, but they tell you NIB days.
Right.
So pension
Important
days,
dates, right?
dates that you need to remember. So you don't have to ask your friend if today's the day. You'll have your own calendar.
Color-coded, yes.
Color-coded, right? Yes. It's beautiful, so you can see for yourself. So be the first person. This is another phone call question. Be the first to answer the question correctly, and you will win the calendar. Please come and get your calendars, folks. These questions are we're really trying to make sure you get a calendar. This one. Are self-employed persons required to contribute to NIB?
Oh, no. I know.
That is the question. Please call in if you can figure this nail-biter of a question out.
Right.
Are self-employed persons required to contribute to NIB? Be the first person to call. You've got yourself a beautiful color-coded NIB calendar. 323-6232. 325-4316. Now, we didn't ask you if they want to.
Right.
Because that might be a different,
that's a different question.
different answer.
Oh, there's
But
a call.
Are they
There's
required?
A call.
Are they required? Let's take this call. Caller, do you have an answer to our trivia question today?
Yes, I do.
What is your answer?
The answer is yes.
There you go. There you go. I don't know how did you figure that one out? I don't know. Stay on the line and give the producer your name and number, and you can come as soon as you can to the National Guardian to pick up your prize. But give the producer your name and number, please. Stay on the line. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Okay, so there you go.
There you go.
Yes, self-employed people are required to contribute to NIB. Dequesta Dean, thanks so much.
Thank
Good
you.
seeing you as always. I'll see you next week.
God willing, yes.
And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio. Everybody have a wonderful day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green. Coming up next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.